I'm Clare McDonald, and I will be playing Gwen in a monologue from Spine by Jessie McCormick, and Alice in a monologue from I Never Sang for My Father by Robert Anderson. Thank you. Ask me if I can do something, and I bet you I can't. I don't know how to type. I don't know how to do laundry. I don't know how to drive stick shift. I don't know how to pump gas. It's disgusting. I'm like a half person. I just don't understand how people deal with the minutiae of everyday life. Like bills. People actually pay their bills on time every single month, and they remember to take their clothing to the dry cleaners, and then they remember to pick up their clothing from the dry cleaners, and I can't keep track of that all. It's too overwhelming. And I have seriously thought about moving into a retirement community because all that stuff's taken care of for you, but I can't do that now because this man came along and he's willing to put up with all of my, well, you know, with me. He's willing to put up with me, which is insane, and that makes him a little insane too, right? Well, I mean, doesn't it? And lately I've been starting to think, okay, maybe we could be together. That sounds like fun. And then that gets me thinking like, maybe it's not too late for me. Maybe there's still time for me to make something out of this godforsaken waste of a life. But then I think, no. I'm relying on a man to make me feel better. I can't do that. But then I think, why the hell not? He'll call you ungrateful and you'll believe him. He'll lash out at you with his sarcasm, and that will spoil this lovely, necessary image you have of yourself as the good son. Can't you see that? The difference between us is that I accept the inevitable sadness of this world without an acute sense of personal guilt. You don't. I don't think that anyone expects either of us to ruin our lives for an unreasonable old man. I've always been grateful to him for what he did. He taught me a marvelous lesson and has made me able to face a lot. And there's been a lot to face, and I'm grateful as hell to him. Because if I couldn't expect the understanding and compassion from a father, who could I expect it from in the world? Who in the world if not from a father? So I learned, and I didn't expect it, and I found very little, and so I'm grateful to him. I'm grateful as hell to him. Thank you. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Goodman, how are you? I'll bet you'll never guess who this is. It's Mrs. Hensdorfer. Remember the frozen foods? You know, Ruth tells me she's your new secretary, and I certainly think that's a delight. You were paying so much attention to Matilda that I'll bet Ruth just got jealous. She does things like that, you know. Well, I hope she works hard for you, although I can't imagine what sort of work Ruth could be doing in that great big science office. She's a terrible snoop. The attendance. Isn't that charming? And cut cards. Imagine you trust her with... Why, I didn't know she could type at all. Imagine. Yes, I'll tell you why I'm calling. It's about those seeds you gave Matilda. She's had them in the house for a while now, and they're starting to grow. Now, she tells me they've been exposed to radioactivity, and I hear such terrible things about radioactivity that I naturally associate radioactivity with sterility, and it positively horrifies me to have those seeds growing in my living room. Couldn't she just grow plain marigolds like everybody else? I see. It does sound like an interesting project, but no, Oh, I'm afraid that at this exact moment I do not know what a mutation is, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman, I don't want you to think that I'm not interested, but please spare me the definitions over the phone. I'll go down to the library next week and pick me out some little book on science, and then I'll know all about mutations. No, you didn't insult me, but I just want you to know that I am not stupid. I just thought prevention was better than a tragedy, Mr. Goodman. I mean, Matilda has enough to worry about without sterility. I was just concerned, but you've put my poor mother's heart at ease. You know, really, our high schools need more exciting young men like you. Oh, I really mean that. Really, I do. Goodbye, Mr. Goodman. If we offend, it is with our good will. That's just the thing. We come not to offend, but with our good will, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as my means to content you. Our true intent is, all for your delight, we are not here. That you should here repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show, you shall know all that you are like to know. Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth make all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, Thisbe is certain. This lady, lime and rough cast, doth present wall, that vile wall which did these lovers sender, and through walls chink. Poor souls, were they content to whisper. At the which let no man wonder. This man, with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn, presenteth moonshine for, if you would know. By moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninnis' tomb there. There to woo. This grisly beast, with lion height by name, the trusty Thisbe, coming first by night, did scare away, or rather, did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion, vile with bloody mouth, did stain. And on comes Pyramus, sweet youth and tall, and finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain. Whack! With blade, with bloody, lameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast. And Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.